Hi everybody, welcome. I've got a special Thanksgiving spread for you here. It's a treble cross or nadi spread. I've got the divine masculine on this side, the divine feminine on this side, union energies in the middle. Thank you so much for joining me here. I want to say a big thanks as always to all of you for your support. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your emails. Thanks for all of the likes and shares. Thanks for all of you for subscribing and just any interaction really, and of course all of your donations as well. Always really humbling. I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has chosen to do a reading or a session with me as well. It's always such a pleasure to meet you all, and like I always say, like, you know, with all the interactions, I feel like, you know, the honor is all mine. um so yeah, thank you so much. Since it is Thanksgiving, I'm not American, but hey, you know, it's another opportunity to be thankful, and they can only really be a good thing, right? So I want to honor all of you today, and here's the reading for you. I have already obviously prayed over and shuffled and dealt the cards. And the intent for today was for everyone who's watching to get a message. It is a general reading, but I did want to specifically ask that everybody watching does get at least one big question kind of answered for them, and at the very least, does get a piece of advice. So here goes. Let's make a start with the divine masculine. For some reason, I wanted to start with him today. Oh, and before I start, as you can see, there are a few rose petals scattered around my yoga mat today. I do all of my readings on my various yoga mats. But these are from my guru. Basically came to town from India over the weekend, and I volunteered. I only got about maybe 4 hours sleep. I was awake for more than 24 hours straight at one point. But it was absolutely great. It was absolutely magical. And one of the things that she does at the end of her programs is she blesses a load of rose petals and showers them on everyone who's there. And they're very energized, basically. So I thought I'd incorporate them into the reading and send some good vibes out to you guys too. So plus they look very pretty. So without further ado, let's start with the reading. And let's go to the divine masculine. So as you know, it's where the divine masculine was, where he is right now, where he's going. And they're quite, again, it's a general reading, so people will be on different parts of you know, different stages, I should say. So do use your own intuition to decide what resonates with you and what doesn't. Also pay attention to the cards and pay attention to how they speak to you individually, and also the messages that I'm giving you. It's up to you to have discrimination to kind of separate what is for you and what is for other people. So pay attention to that. Okay, so recent past for the divine masculine, we have this. We have refusing to see. And with that, we have, excuse me, Axel, go. Sorry, that was a cat. So, refusing to see. And here we have, it's been there so many times. It really has. And it was still there up until quite recently for many. And it's that, and for some people, they're still in this energy, for some divine masculines. A good way to balance that out. This whole reading is very much about balance, actually. There is so much of that here. So, and as you know, both of these energies are within each person. And in order to kind of alter or influence our surroundings, we have to alter and influence ourselves and change ourselves. So this could be reflected in you somewhere. If you feel like your divine masculine is not seeing certain things that you can see, look within yourself and see if there are any other things that you can see better. How can you be more perceptive or more empathetic or anything like that? Okay, so refusing to see. Some of them are refusing to look up. It's almost like, to me, he seems very afraid. From this card, I'm really getting a lot of apprehension, a lot of fear, a lot of kind of that feeling where it's almost like he's looking at a someone who's trying to tell, like a superior or something, and he's afraid to make eye contact, either because he's done something wrong. I'm feeling guilt from this card, and a feeling of not being up to the task. More than the fear, it's that not being up to the task, a feeling of not being good enough, and a feeling of guilt. Those are the emotions that I'm getting from this. But those emotions are what are holding him back from being the emperor. So those are, you know, what's holding him back from receiving this divine intervention, this divine light, the new light codes, it's stopping him evolving basically, and stopping him taking the next step, which is, you know, he has to look up, he has to take off the helmet, and he has to take a step forward into the next stage of his life. So many people, they are over this stage, and they're at a stage where they can actually take off that helmet. But many of them are still stuck in those feelings of guilt, those feelings of not being ready, those feelings of apprehension and not being enough, essentially, of weakness, which is the polar opposite of, you know, this card, lead. So if he can actually take that step, look up and look forward and proceed, then we have the Emperor stepping out of his shadow, looking upwards, not even just straight ahead, looking upwards. And we have opportunity beckons as well, and they kind of go in a sequence. It goes from refusing to see to opportunity beckons. And then if you can take hold of the opportunity, that's when, you know, certain people are very much in this energy, where they are the emperor. They're actually there. And this is, you know, I really, really commend all of you divine masculines and divine feminines who are involved in those dynamics as well, who are at this point, because like you are there and you're the guys who you know, this is your time. Very much all of what you want is there for you because you're going to create it, and just take it. You're gonna take every opportunity that comes your way, and you're gonna run with it, and you're gonna make the most of it, and really use your sovereign power to create the life that you want to create. So wonderful. I'm so pleased for you guys, and the energy is there for all of us to do that. The energy is definitely there for all of us to do that. So any opportunities that you do have around you at the moment, make sure that you make the most of them. I'm also hearing time is something that we must not waste. So those opportunities that are there, seize them while you can, and that's what's really going to help you step into your power, because now really is the time to harvest the benefits almost of your actions. And where is that going to lead us? That hard work is what is going to make this possible. This is the Nine of Cups in the traditional tarot. It's dreams coming true. It's such an auspicious card. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, this person doesn't even have the world in their hands. They have, you know, the galaxy. They have a universe in their hands. That's the level of creative power that is open to all of us right now. So be very, very careful about what you do with your time and what you think. We've got so much to be thankful for, and just the more gratitude and thankfulness that you can have, the more of that good stuff is going to come your way. So I really do think it's a wonderful, wonderful time to, and you know, that's what Thanksgiving's all about. But even if you don't celebrate it, because I know some of you live in Asia, some of you live in Europe, it's so important just to sit down, because the reading really does support that right now. But just be thankful for having a divine partner. Be thankful for having the opportunity to overcome all the challenges, whatever challenges you have. It's such a blessing to have the possibility to overcome them, and you do have that. It is in the reading right now. So you have the chance to really create things and really achieve things and achieve great things. And that's what gives you a sense of satisfaction. If you are doing something really easy, it's not so special, is it? If you're going to go and watch a movie, if there's absolutely no kind of story arc, it's really boring. It's only ever satisfying if something really bad happens and then they overcome it, and then it's good. And then you have your happy ending or whatever at the end. So bear that in mind. If you ever feel sad about things that you've had to go through, or if it doesn't seem fair, or if you don't feel like you're up to the job, just remember that that's where you would get your sense of achievement from. So advice for the Divine Masculine. We've got this. We've got love abounds and choose your battles. What this means is the advice is always, always, always to listen to your heart, because that's where you're going to find more clarity. That's where you're going to find the vision. That's where you're going to find the knowledge and the if it's not the clarity, basically. If you're not too sure what to do, if you're not too sure how you truly feel, you have to look deeper into your heart, and that's going to tell you what you need to do. Any kind of confusion that's in your mind, that's gonna, all these different faces staring down at you, Divine Masculine, anything that's making you feel afraid, anything that's making you feel like you don't know what to do, how to do it, or if you can do it, you just have to look into your heart, and that's where all the strength, all of the clarity, and all of the intelligence, like I always say, your heart has its own intelligence, and that is what's gonna help you overcome any battles, any internal battles. And it is that emotion of just unbridled love, just radiating out. So go there, go within there. And what that will help you do is get that clarity of belief and also find balance. So it's only by going into your heart that you can actually be the butterfly. Can you see that? So this guy's finally releasing the butterfly that he's been holding on to, and this is the transformation. So this is very much pertaining to those of you who are at this Emperor stage. And if you're not at the Emperor stage, like I said, don't lose hope. It just means that the opportunity is there for you. So for a long time we were talking about being in the chrysalis stage, but for many of you, if it hasn't happened already, it's going to happen soon. I would say before the year is out, definitely the opportunity and the energies are there for you to actually fully transform into the butterfly. So that's the next stage in the cycle. And this is the sort of the like a ace of swords kind of energy. It's very much kind of, it's the intellect kind of, and that goes, it's linked to this as well. From going from refusing to see to being able to really, really discriminate with what's real and what isn't real, and really choosing that green is just the fact that this guy's really, really choosing the energy and the intelligence of the heart, which is also reflected in all of the cups, which are very, very present in the masculine side of the reading. And you've also got balance, which is temperance, which is in the Rider-Waite, which is the other tarot that I love to use. It's temperance is another twin flame card, and it's all about again balancing the masculine and the feminine within yourself. And that means being receptive as well as being active. Make sure that you don't hold on to things. It's really, really important to not hold on to things. It's let them go, and be giving, and don't ever feel afraid to let go of things. Don't ever be afraid to be yourself. Don't ever be afraid to open your heart, because remember, you want this love to abound. So it's only by opening your heart, and you know, this is really a sign of receiving and also giving. Receiving and also giving, that is going to give you this balance. It's going to give you that clarity. It's going to give you that, because if you can do that, you'll balance naturally. Really, really lovely. So movement is needed. This this is coming because certain people are holding on to fears, old ways of being, just their old rubbish that doesn't suit them anymore. It doesn't work for them. They're holding on to it. Just let it go, drop it, look forward, and embrace what's out there for you, which is your yes, you have to take responsibility. There's a lot of responsibility in there, but you're totally capable of doing it. And don't forget, the opportunities are there. Take them while you can. So really, really, really lovely, very, very powerful messages, I feel, for the divine masculine. Many of them are still stuck there, but just drop the fears. I can't really stress that enough. So for divine feminines, recently you've come to the end of a cycle, and it's very much the start of a new phase. And most of, like, on top of the world in many respects. Even if you might not feel it, you have that ability within you to be on top of the world, to really connect with everything around you, from a different dimension and also from a different level. So you're seeing a lot of different things. You've got a new perspective, a very meta perspective, and also a very deep perspective. So you've got the breadth as well as the depth of vision. You're open to new ideas. You're really, really blossoming. And whatever comes, you're in a very, very different, very elevated and very good position to deal with it. Much, much, much more so than you were in the past. So think back to where you were, at the start of your journey, this particular romantic journey. Think of all of the things that you've learned. Think of how far you've come, and really appreciate that. Give yourself a really, really, really good pat on the back, because if you're the typical kind of divine feminine, you have been so patient. You have really increased your knowledge and expanded your mind, expanded your heart, expanded your emotions, expanded your intellect, expanded everything. So, and expanded your energy body. So that's wonderful. And just by the fact that you've done that and you're being here, and you're still continuing to try and improve yourself and just be, you're already doing a massive service to the world and everyone around you. So that's really, really wonderful. So that's something that I'm thankful to all of you for that. Next up, where are you right now? Again, you've got giving and receiving. This is again a massive card about balance and movement. That's what it's all about. I get a real sense of fluidity from this reading, actually. And I'm actually seeing the twin flame, the infinity sign. It's very, very, very important that you also learn, or really, really perfect the art of kind of giving and receiving. And there's 4 pairs of hands here as well, which is also 4 is the number of stability, and the root chakra. The root chakra is actually like a 4-petaled lotus, and it's I'm also seeing the 4 of wands, which is and one of the twin flame kind of marriage cards, or at least the cards of stability and commitment. It's so vital that you learn to give as well as receive energies, and give what you can and receive what you need. I'm hearing boundaries. I'm hearing you've got to reassess them. You're at a new stage right now, so your needs and your wants and your situation in terms of what you can give, they've all changed. So take stock of those and act accordingly. And it's all coming from a place of love. I can definitely, my eyes are definitely drawn to these hearts in the background, and just love radiating. So whatever you have to do, sometimes it might seem like it's not coming from love. It might seem like a mean thing. It could be tough love. It could be whatever. But love, whatever you need to do it, and do it without having any fear about how it's going to be received by the universe or other people, or the consequences or bad karma or whatever, because the source of everything is love. It's all coming from a place of love, and it will benefit everyone the more authentic you are to yourself. So think about what you need. Think about your needs right now. Think about other people's needs as well, and just be as authentic as possible. Act that way, and it's going to be fantastic. Basically, that's what I'm getting for that. It's going to be very stabilizing for everyone involved. And where's that going to lead to? It's going to lead here. This is the the picture that's on the box of John Holland's Psychic Tarot of the Heart. It's 7. It's the Chariot, and again, this is these two people here. I'm seeing again the Infinity, the Twin Flame sign. I'm seeing the Heart. It's all about movements. It's the energies. This is a love reading, and all of the actions, all of the thoughts, all of the intelligence that we use to govern our actions and our thoughts and what we do and how we are, it has to come from our heart. That's where the real clarity that's going to be unclouded by that much ego and mind chatter is going to come from. So that's what we need to, and it's coming out of our hands, because hands are like portals. Hands are very, a lot of our energy comes out of our hands basically. So that's why the hands are here. And also this is a pagan hand fastening ceremony, which is, the pagan version of marriage, which is how people used to get married in England and places like that before Christianity came. And that's where things are heading. It's not even in the traditional kind of chariot sense of things here. It's very much towards that heart-centered relationships, authentic relationships. And I'm hearing, I don't know why, I'm hearing tradition and old school kind of ways of doing things. The ancients had that knowledge, and it's about bringing that back. This is why, because it's got lost. So what we can do, what we really have the ability to do, is kind of bring back the sanctity, bring back the authenticity really of and the power, definitely, of those kind of institutions, because they're missing. No one really believes in marriage anymore. No one really believes in love in many ways. So and I'm seeing again, move. This is only one letter away from love. It's all about, this 7. Let's just turn it upside down, stick it here, and what have you got? You've got love. So that's where we're headed. Lovely, lovely. I love this as an advice card, because this is basically just saying rest and reconsider. It's really, really a time of just divine feminines really going into that nurturing mode, but nurture yourself. Make sure that you really, really, really take care of yourself. It's very important right now to look after your physical body. It's winter time in the Northern Hemisphere. Loads of people might be feeling like they're getting sick and feeling really tired, wanting to eat really badly because it's really cold and miserable and all the rest of it. I know that's definitely true for me, but it's so important to just really, really rest and reconsider. But with this, it's consider everything that you do for yourself. Consider what you put into your mouth. Eat consciously. Try and eat vegetarian, high vibrational food if you can. Fast. Do anything that's going to sort of give you some clarity and help purify your body and strengthen your body, and really, really feed it in the best way possible. Eat organic so that you're not eating pesticides and other things that are made to end life. Get, if you want to start a new health routine, learn something new, go to the gym, get a, pamper yourself, even if it's just something to make you feel good, like getting a manicure or a pedicure or a facial or a massage, or, going to a spa, book a nice little holiday, even some retail therapy. Spend time with friends, have a do something that will really, really help you relax, a nice meal, anything. It's really, really important that you just take stock, treat yourself. It's actually very, very good for divine feminines at the moment to really treat themselves. All of that attention and time and effort that you women very often give to other people, do something that you wouldn't normally do for yourself. Just do it, because it's a time for that, as long as it's restful. And what will that help you do? That will help you relax. It's just all about relaxing right now and feeling whole. Because when you get to a certain stage where you're not feeling like you're running on empty, where you're not feeling like people are taking you for granted, make sure that you don't take yourself for granted. What other emotions am I picking up on from the collective? That feeling of just kind of doing too much. If you feel that, just take that. You need to basically give yourself some space to restock and recalibrate yourself. And once you do that, you will have the ability to think a bit more clearly. This is the Seven of Cups in the traditional tarot, which is when you have a lot of choices and those choices can get overwhelming. And it's all about right now refocusing, but in order to do that, you've got to take stock. You've got to relax. You've got to relax, stop and take a breath. It's a wonderful time for meditation. Absolutely wonderful. Everything that you do here, it's meant to just give you some space, give you some silence. And it's only from that space of silence, I'm also getting, this lady is a nun, prayerfulness, daydreams and decisions. You can start to get back in touch with your dreams, find out and get clarity on what your dreams are, and make the decisions that get you closer to those dreams. And she's got her eyes closed, and she's she's highlighting her heart, which is all about looking within. It's not looking with your external eyes. It's not depending on your mind to make sense of things. Look within, look to the heart. That's what's going to give you the clarity. That's what's going to give you the serenity. That's what's going to give you the answers, basically. So now let's go to the union energies. What do we have at the bottom? At the bottom, we have challenging times and change your focus, both number 5s. So this is all about conflict. It's all about, it's often seen as a card of a conflicting mind, like lots of different choices, I should say, and change your focus here. It's I'm being shown, the lady is looking away from all the conflicts of the swords here, of the wands. Basically, I'm of the soldier. She's not a soldier anymore. She's looking away from that, looking away from the conflict. And like I said in my last reading, number 5 is also a very, very spiritual number to me. And because I'm doing the reading, it's also very spiritual in my readings. It's the number that signifies Lord Shiva, who is the god of destruction. And it's just the ending of all things that don't serve you anymore. It's nothing to be afraid of. He's also, seen as one of the most powerful gods in the entire mythology of Hinduism, and also one of the most merciful. So just have that faith that whatever changes you're going through or have been through, they are all for the best, because whatever is meant for you will not pass you. So strangely enough, with the union energies, I'm getting some, it's very, very powerful, but very, very also possibly quite intimidating. Well, as all powerful things, and big, if it's a big deal, you're always going to get butterflies, right? So what I've got here is in the center of the reading is spread your wings. So a lot of people are going to be feeling a little bit afraid. For some people, it's going to be pure excitement. It's going to be, oh my gosh, union is here, or we're at a new stage, or you've got some really, really exciting plans with your twin flames and soulmates and your divine partners. For other people, they just don't know if they're gonna make it or not. It's literally like the little baby bird taking its first attempt at flight off some precipice. But there's nothing to be worried about. There is absolutely nothing to be worried about. But some people are feeling it. I do know that. The key to getting away from those feelings is just to do all the things that I've spoken about. So if you need to listen to the reading again, make sure that you do. But it's all about balance. The key thing is balance. Again, look, it's like she's walking a tightrope. It's like she's walking a slack line or something. It seems like a very narrow path, just with a complete sheer drop underneath into the unknown. But you've just got to keep your eye on the prize, really, on the focus on the goal, and whether that be God, whether that be just your own self, whether that be whatever it may be, whatever your outcome is. But the guiding light is always the divine. That's just the most fail-safe way of proceeding. But for many people, it could be the relationship too, and whatever it is to you, you're the only one that can know what that is. Focus on that, and focus on the belief that it can happen, and then just take each step as it comes. You do have the power to do it. You definitely do. It's all about balance. You need, if you're gonna walk something like this, you need to balance yourself at every single step. So check yourself at every step. And where is it likely to lead? Interestingly enough, we've got this tower energy, we've got rebuild. Here it's very much a very powerful new start. It could mean really, really big changes. That's what I'm getting here. I'm not getting like, oh yeah, everything's falling apart. Only if you're really, really unable to let go of things that you can't let go of, or refuse to see things that you are meant to look up and that you have to look up to see, then yeah, it's going to be like divine intervention is going to come in and, you know, shake the very foundations of your entire life. But if that's not the case, then it's just literally the divine is just going to make sure that with the utmost compassion, almost ruthless compassion, I will say, where you need to, they're going to get you where you need to be. The energies are going to come through. They could feel very, very intense, but know that they are all for the highest good. It's so important that you have that faith. For some people, the challenges could be big, but just know that it's very much divinely orchestrated. It really, really is. And there is definitely going to be a lesson there. It's, you've got to let go of these kind of, if anyone has like an idea, I don't know where this is coming from, so clearly some people out there do, that God is out to test you and punish you, and you need to prove your faith to God and blah blah blah. That's rubbish. It's just not the case. It's all about strengthening yourself, challenging yourself, overcoming things so that you can prove to yourself your own strength. And if things fall apart, like I said below, here, what's meant for you is not going to pass you. So why have any doubt? Also, if you have doubt, it's like you're doubting the divine, you're doubting yourself. Do you really need to do that? Is that what you want? Choose faith, I would suggest, because it would make things a lot more pleasant for you. But know that what I'm really, really getting from this energy is the energy of Kali, who is just the most compassionate, but she's also very scary to look at. She's the goddess who is kind of, she's, you know, if you look at her, she looks absolutely crazy. Like, she wears a garland of skulls around her neck, and she's also often depicted holding the severed head of one of her devotees. And what that actually symbolizes is just the ego, because the ego mainly resides in the mind, and she's liberated him from his ego. So it's not like a literal, oh yeah, she's decided to kill him off. No, that's not the case at all. But it can look quite scary, and that's a very deliberate way of depicting her. So sometimes blessings that come to us can look very scary, but they're actually not. They're actually there to liberate us from the real bondage, which is our ego. That's what makes us feel unhappy. That's what makes us feel like we should have this and things should be like this, and what makes us feel anger and all the rest of it. So, you know, if you feel those things coming up, let them come up, feel them, acknowledge them, and then let them go, because that's what this balance is all about. So don't repress things. This is also what the Divine Masculine has been doing a lot. They've been repressing their emotions, repressing their feelings. It's not about that. It's about stepping into things, acknowledging them, and balance It's about acknowledging all the dark things, and just letting them go. And that's what is gonna, that, you know, because otherwise they're not gonna have anywhere to go, and they're just gonna intensify. So that's what the crux of this is. And that could be what feels challenging to so many people. It's actually facing up to the things that they don't know. What's going to happen when they kind of face up to these emotions? You're going to carry on walking to your path, walking up your path, basically. The underlying energies, again, it's all about balance. It's all about balance. So this is like the Two of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. Again, to me, that card is always a bit of a twin flame card, because it's often about the movement of the energies as well. A lot of people have been talking about a merge, but that's kind of always there. For, if you know, if you've been on this journey for a while, you'll kind of, it will just be like the norm. But it's very much to do with cycles, with karma. Notice how the same things, if they keep coming up, they should be getting more and more bearable. If not, you need to do something differently about how you're going about your spiritual work, which is essentially all about mastering your ego, mastering your energies, and having the life that you want to have. That is what spirituality is to me. It's not letting outside things influence you. Okay, so finding balance is very, very, very key to that. Again, I'm being shown a lot of these things, they keep looking